Today we're diving into something that's, well, quietly making waves in education, especially early childhood learning. If you've ever thought about teaching phonics, maybe even just helping a young kid learn to read, you probably know the feeling. That sense of overwhelm preparing lessons, or maybe you don't have formal phonics training yourself, or just the stress of, like, where do I even start? So just picture this for a second. What if you could confidently walk in and deliver really effective phonics lessons with zero prior training and absolutely no prep stress?
Yeah, sounds almost too good to be true, right?
Exactly.
But that's the intriguing claim at the heart of what we're looking at today. Our sources keep pointing to one specific solution, the BrainPad Phonics Teacher Kit. It's presented as a real game changer, designed to empower confident teaching, even for people who are, as one source put it, starting with literally zero phonics background.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. Our mission today is to really get under the hood. How does this kit actually work? What specific problems does it solve? The tangible stuff for teachers, for learners. And what's the wider impact? On teachers, sure, but also students, maybe even parents. We'll be pulling directly from the experiences and the details in the source material you shared with us. But before we get to the solution, let's really step into the shoes of someone facing that pre-kit struggle. The sources, they paint a pretty clear picture, don't they? You're maybe a new preschool owner, an aspiring tutor, could even be a parent wanting to teach effectively at home. And you find yourself spending like hours Googling phonics lesson plan for Reese sounds. We're trying to figure out, okay, how to explain digraphs, the sounds to 4-year-olds. It's not just time consuming. The sources say it's exhausting.
Yeah.
People feel totally overwhelmed.
Absolutely. And it's not just about finding stuff, right? It's about trying to piece together something coherent, something effective from scratch.
Often without having that foundational knowledge yourself.
Exactly. That's a critical point. It's not a small hurdle. Our sources show it's a major barrier for anyone wanting to get into phonics teaching, no matter how passionate they are. It really highlights this universal wish for an easier way to tackle this fundamental part of early literacy.
Yeah, an easier way that doesn't require, years of specialized training just to feel like you can start.
Right. And what often gets missed, I think, is it's not just about the time saved. It's about confidence. Or, well, the lack of confidence in delivering a lesson that really works.
Okay, so this is where the BrainPad kit comes in, and it sounds genuinely transformative based on the sources.
Yeah.
It directly tackles that huge planning burden. The sources consistently call the ready-made PPTs, the PowerPoints, gold.
Gold, yeah.
But it seems like it's more than just convenience. It's almost like embedding expertise.
That's a good way to put it. They aren't just templates. They essentially guide the teacher step by step. The pedagogy is baked in.
So it shifts the focus away from what do I teach towards how do I actually engage the kids with this stuff.
Precisely. You're literally told what to teach and how to teach it.
And it removes the need for physical flashcards or books even.
Yeah, it's all integrated, which streamlines everything.
And that zero prep claim we mentioned.
The sources suggest it's pretty accurate. Practically speaking, it means a teacher can just, open the slides and go.
Wow.
It really shows the power of structured support. What's fascinating to me here is how a kit like this can take someone with basically no phonics background and make them feel supported at every single step. It removes the guesswork.
Turning something daunting into something accessible.
Exactly. And fostering, as the source says, 100% confident delivery right from the start. It frees up the teacher to focus on the child, not scrambling with the curriculum.
Okay, so the kit handles the teaching part, building that confidence. But what about making sure the learning actually sticks?
Right, reinforcement.
That seems to be where the BrainPad app comes into play. The sources describe it almost like magic for reinforcing what was taught. Students practice the exact same concept from class, but through gamified practice.
Ah, gamification. Kids usually respond well to that.
Totally. The sources say kids love it. It's not just boring drills. It's interactive, adaptive challenges. Makes learning feel more like a fun quest.
And from the teacher's side, the app offers huge benefits beyond just keeping kids engaged.
Like what?
Well, you can track student progress in real time, so you know exactly where a student might be getting stuck, maybe on a specific sound or concept.
Ah, so you can offer help right away, targeted help.
Precisely. Think about how often teachers get that kind of immediate granular feedback in a traditional setup. Usually it takes hours of manual assessment, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Here, the app flags specific problem areas. It makes interventions incredibly precise and timely.
And there's something for parents, too, a transparency feature.
Yes, that's another key piece. Parents can also log in and see their child's progress right there in the app.
Which must cut down on those "what did my child learn today?" questions.
Dramatically, according to the sources, everyone's on the same page. It fosters this collaborative learning environment.
Well, it's not just about the classroom moment.
No, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the app creates this whole cohesive learning ecosystem. It stretches beyond the classroom walls. It encourages continuous engagement, really clear communication, and a kind of shared understanding between the teacher, the student, and the parents.
Building a consistent, supportive bubble around the child's learning.
Exactly, maximizing their potential.
Okay, so if we kind of recap this whole journey, you start with this feeling of overwhelm, maybe inadequacy,
Mm-hmm.
and you move towards confident, impactful teaching. It sounds like the BrainPad Kit is, well, more than just a set of tools.
The sources consistently call it a teaching partner.
A teaching partner, I like that. It saves time, builds confidence.
And ultimately makes something that felt impossible feel achievable.
Right. And the most crucial outcome, the one the sources really hammer home.
You students actually learn.
Yeah. Which sounds obvious, but what does that mean in practice?
It means fewer struggles for the child and the teacher, more of those aha moments, a stronger foundation in phonics that genuinely prepares them for reading success, not just, memorizing stuff for a test.
It really seems to remove barriers for both sides.
It does, and it raises an interesting question, doesn't it? What does it signify when technology can effectively bridge that gap between someone's aspiration to teach and their ability to do it effectively in a specialized field like phonics?
Making success more attainable regardless of where you start.
Exactly, for everyone involved.
Okay, so let's summarize the key takeaways from our deep dive for you today. The BrainPad Phonics Teacher Kit looks like a powerful example of how specialized tools can really simplify complex subjects like phonics. It seems to take away that whole stress of lesson prep and genuinely empowers teachers, even those coming from totally different backgrounds or with no phonics experience, to teach confidently and get real results for their students. And just a note for anyone curious to check this out, the source material does mention a 90-day free offer.
Which leads to a final thought to maybe leave you with. Consider the implications beyond just phonics. Could we see similar teaching partners transforming how we learn other complex subjects? Think science, math, languages.
Making specialized knowledge much more accessible.
Exactly. To educators and learners alike. Could this ultimately speed up knowledge acquisition globally? Maybe break down some of those traditional barriers to entry in fields that used to require years and years of specific training?
That's definitely something to think about. The potential is huge. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope exploring this has helped you feel more informed, maybe even a little transformed by the knowledge. Keep exploring.